So, folks, and the sequester continues to ripple across the country. A lot of we spoke on Friday about the news that President Obama's budget is going to include the chain CPI and then also cuts some benefit cuts to Medicare, as well as provider cuts. And there has been quite an uproar about it. We will talk about it more on this program. I have yet to find. Has either one of you guys seen any anybody write in favor of this? I mean, in other words, I've seen on some listservs I've been on, I've seen people defend it, and we know that Greg Sargent wrote on Friday that this is a Sophie's choice. Either liberals have to decide whether or not they want the sequester to continue, or do they want to cut Social Security and Medicare? And of course, this is a false choice. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. I mean, and the logic of that is a little bit shaky. If we're to believe that this offer, I mean, there's two ways of looking at this, and we're going to talk more about this after the interview with Tim Sherrick. But like I say, my energy level today is rather low. I'm a little sick, but there's two ways of looking at this. Either this is and look, I think it's undoubted. It's undoubted. It's hard to argue at this point that this isn't simply what President Obama thinks he needs to do for his legacy. Do not confuse the notion that people can be saying this is a Sophie's choice here. Do not confuse that with the notion that the president didn't want us to get to a Sophie's choice situation. It is quite clear that we are at this juncture because the president wanted us to be at this juncture. You can make the argument that the president wanted to avoid the sequester altogether with a similar deal that he has outlined in his budget. That is accurate. He certainly offered it in the past. The fact that the sequester is ongoing, I think, is more about a function of the administration not being very good at understanding their opponent and what is driving them. But make no mistake, this is simply the fallback position. This is simply a different tactical position on a broader strategy that the Obama administration has had since 2009, which is to forge a grand bargain, including entitlement reform. There is no one who can argue against that, credibly. I haven't seen anybody argue against it. But just because the president has wanted to get us in this situation does not necessarily mean that the answer to this Sophie's choice is we choose neither. But that is the answer. Because if the sequester is so painful as to drive Republicans into this grand bargain, or alternatively, if the sequester is so painful that Republicans will pay a political price for not trying to find a way out of it, then the sequester is also painful enough for the Republicans to have to come to the table regardless of whether or not entitlement reform is there. Because they don't want to embrace cuts to Social Security or Medicare. They just want the president to own it. So really what the president is offering is not simply something that they want. What they want is they want the political leverage that comes from that. So the president does not care about what happens in 2014, or he would have never made this deal. And or he's quite convinced that they can't take back the Congress. And I don't think he cares about the Senate. And to the extent that he does, I think he thinks that those senators who might be on the bubble are going to vote against this anyways, and it will pass anyways. I mean, those who are on the bubble are going to vote for it. And it will pass even with the progressives saying no. So understand where President Obama is coming from here. And it's not a terrible surprise. But it is why the strategy must be to focus on the Senate and the House. And to call your representatives and tell them you will welcome a primary challenge against them. You will fund a primary challenge against them if they vote for this budget. If they vote to cut Social Security or Medicare. They need to hear it. They need to be scared off here. As far as President Obama's legacy, his legacy is sealed in many respects, I think. It's debatable as to whether or not cutting Social Security and Medicare will help him in the short run in terms of the Beltway. But I think in the long run, he's going to go down, and I may be mistaken, but I believe he's the first Democratic president since FDR to support a cut in Medicare or Social Security. The 83 commission that raises the retirement age for Social Security, I think would definitely happen under Reagan. I don't know. I don't know if Jimmy Carter called for a cut in Social Security, or I can't imagine Johnson did. It would be interesting to know. I mean, that very well may be his legacy.